Hi. You're welcome back again on our second segment of the program Church Today, and we will still continue with great matters pertaining to life. And it was, I remember when we broke off, it was the HM, head teacher, Madam Head Teacher, speaking about the education in the as far as the situation is concerned. So we can start right from where you stopped.
Thank you, Isaac. I was saying that going back to our faith, that certain things you adopt them by faith. Because the question was, how do you gauge that the learner is speaking when a teacher is teaching over radio? Yes. So I said, I think now this is now where we say by faith, the learner must be following me. If it is 1 + 1, you imagine he has written the 1 and has put a plus sign, plus another 1, equal sign, and is writing the 2.
Excuse me a little, because even in class you will find that we are not in the same pace of understanding.
Yes.
Now, how would the teacher gauge that when he is on TV or on radio or even on social media, that a student is following him up, or the students are on the same pace? How would you do that?
I think the only medium we would be questioning or imagining is radio. The others are that they are visual.
Yes.
And therefore the learner is following by sight as well as by hearing. But for radio, it's only by hearing. And maybe imagination.
Wow.
I would like to keep that one in.
Imagine.
I would imagine the teacher is now doing this. So I should also do this.
So on the teacher's side, it is faith to know that the student is following.
Exactly.
Yet on the student's side, it is.
But then we are also saying that it would be good, since we are all at home.
Yes.
During lockdown. So it would be very good that time when the lesson is running on radio. It would be good if the parent is also around to help this learner concentrate and probably work according to what the teacher is saying. Why am I saying this? I sometimes hear what is happening in next door. Yes. My neighbors. Yes. The lesson is supposed to be going on, but they are watching some of these translated movies. So that is what you're hearing. And you're like, but these are learners. They're supposed to be attending to the lessons. Yes. So that's why I'm like, the adults should be present and help these young people. Because it's holiday time. Some of them think it's holiday time and we should be doing what we want. We should be resting. We should be relaxing. But like I said at the beginning, we did not complete the teaching syllabi. And yet time is fast spent. Unless we are going to go into term X.
Term X.
Yeah, term X happened sometime back in 1979, I think.
Really?
When the war stretched on, and that's when the senior sixes had to do their exams in March of the following year, March, April. And I think I'm that lot that were the last people that sat in March, April.
The UNEP exam.
Yes, and after us, they went back to November, December.
Thank you so much. Pastor, I want us to talk about the faith bit of it. We believe that faith is spiritual. And it is revealed to them that know Christ. Because if a teacher is on air and he is teaching students that are on radio, he can't see them. He's not hearing them because you cannot respond back on radio. It's one of the medias that you can't get feedback so easily. Faith, and then you find someone who is an unbeliever. Is it going to work for them?
Some extent, because when we talk about faith, believing the things that we don't see. When we talk about faith, that is believing the things that we don't see. But there is a substance. The Bible says faith is a substance of things hoped for. and it is the evidence of things not yet seen. So, some time back, I've been following the teachings of our teachers. Recently, I was in a lesson of tourism. It was for primary school. It was social studies, and it was very interesting because the way the teacher was teaching was really interesting. Because I wasn't a very good student in social studies, I was good at English and math in my primary. Because I started my primary in 1984.
That's a long way.
long way back. In fact, I'm among the people that the headmistress was talking about.
Among the people that sat there.
We sat in March.
March.
That is my senior 6 in 1991. And so, but I was following the program, and when you are teaching, you never know the people you are teaching. That is the faith that you have to have, because you don't have that feedback as you people start the communication. Know it, but you have to believe. You have to keep a smile. You have to talk at that person that doesn't see you. Like even camera. Right now, you look right in the camera. And of course, people are there. That's what we have to believe. People are there. Even right now, people are going to be watching this program.
Yes.
And some people can even get saved. So, in the same manner, I think we have to shift from the face on, because that's where the world is taking us. We are so much used, because when I went to school, for us, we didn't have much of the nursery. Because my primary was in 1971. I was born in 71, but my primary was 78. P1, primary 1. We are so much used to the teachers. We carry the sticks. We go and draw pictures on the ground. Abacuses and stuff like that. But so we are so much used to the teachers until I went to secondary school. In my HSC, our teacher was having a program at the university. He had gone for further education. So that's when I started reading on my own. And I think even in my secondary, in my O-level, because the war, this war that brought in our president, yes. That is 1985, 1986. Yes. I was in my senior one, and we are the people who never sat for senior one. I just found myself in 1986. I was sitting in senior 2. I don't know how things happened. So, when we started in our school, where I was in St. Kalemba, senior secondary school, we had, I think, about 7 teachers for the whole school.
Whole school, 7 teachers.
And so some students could come and help us. Agriculture assistants could come and help us teach us agriculture. Anybody around the place could come and help us. And so we learned to read on our own until 1980s, around 80, 87, when we got more teachers coming and joining. Good enough, I was one of the people that got a first grade. We were honored to there. But we learned to study the hard way. We could read, we could make groups, and we ask questions. And so I think if things go on changing, like the headmistress has been saying, we should begin to ride on the wings of the change, not to be, what word can I use, not to be stuck into the old system, to be rigged into the traditional systems. Because where we are going right now, we are going to we are in the Skypes, we are in the WhatsApps,
social
stuff like that. So we can't keep back like that, though we have challenges here and there. But I think that's what our nations should be working on. I was in a country in Africa here, and they're trying to work on their internet. Every house, they want to connect it to internet. I know Uganda is going to come to that stage. So this challenge of COVID-19 is teaching us a lot of things, because that's where we are going. Yeah.
That's where we're going. And this situation is teaching us a lot of things in all areas of life. I mean, you can't see the student, but you have faith that whatever you're delivering is reaching. So it has to be the student to contribute towards the teaching of the teacher, and that is listening. Now, what happens? Let me come to my aunt right
Maybe
here.
Isaac, before Rebecca comes
Okay.
in, I would like to say that this period or season, as we can call it, is teaching us so many things.
Right.
Personally, I had not known how the pi became 3.14.
3.14, yeah.
Yeah.
I also never knew.
But I attended a maths lesson on TV, and I saw they get the diameters of a circle, and they fit them in. And then what remains is actually the 1.4.
Wow.
So, and I'm learning it at my age.
Old age.
Because with us it was either the other pi sign or
even a
the 3.14. So we are learning a lot, and I think the young people who are still going to school should embrace the knowledge as it comes through which way, because we are now living in a global village.
Wow.
And time is going to come when you don't have to see a teacher. I send my coursework, you simply open your page and you get the coursework there, you do it, and you submit the answer. I mark, I give you back the feedback.
Wow, wonderful. I think some people are getting some good things out of this situation. I'm making good use of this situation. And right on that point, I'm coming to my aunt right here. At home, you have children that are studying, and you have the TV or even you have the radio.
Yes, please.
Now, what is your input as far as the education and the studying of these pupils that are at home, or maybe even the students that are at home, as a mother, as a parent?
Thank you, Isaac. My day with the children includes planning for what they will do through the day. So, in the evening, I prepare them. Let's have what you'll have for breakfast set.
Okay.
Your chores in the morning will be ABCD.
Yes.
And they begin their day at around 5 a.m. Get up, freshen up, then they come to the sitting room. They do some of the part of the reading there. Up to around 8 a.m., have their breakfast, then set their books for the lesson, because now they know the timetable for the TV. They know which subject is taught on which day. So they get ready. In that time, I sit with them.
All right.
And attend the lessons. Some of them I participate, others I'm a nearby stander to see what is happening.
What's up? And maybe to learn also.
Yes, to learn, but to make sure that they are adhering
Towards, yeah.
to the set rules. It's for their benefit, but it's also mine.
Yes.
I'm the fees payer,
Yes.
but for their tomorrow's lives.
Wow.
So I make sure that I prepare them, because it doesn't end now. Actually, I always tell them that there's a famous quote of Charles Darwin that it's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but they that are most responsive to change. So I tell them this is home, but during study hours, it's school. So I represent the teacher. I follow them up. I see that their assignments are done.
You monitor them.
Yes, I monitor that evaluation and monitoring.
Yes.
It's not even at home.
Wow.
So we follow them up. And if I'm not doing it, their father comes back in the evening, because for them he works in a setting which has not favored him during the lockdown. He has actually worked more. But when he comes back, he follows up. Becky, what happened? Did the girls attend to the lesson? Have the little ones done their homework? How far? He checks. So we are following up such that in the event that school opens, they are not backwards.
So in some instances, home has practically changed to class.
Yes.
Many settings.
Yes.
In church, people are praying. And last time we were with one of our ministers here, and he was like, they are having altars at home, and the kids are the one leading the altars. There is Pastor Emma. There is some Pastor Emma, a young kid. He leads the lunch hour. Then there is Pastor Sandra. They're all kids. Leads the morning glory. Then there is that one that leads the evening glory. So very many things are happening at home. It's trying to show us that home is still big enough to accommodate all things pertaining to life. Is that so? And Pastor, home, church, school, what else? Gym, like President Seven showed us last time. So everything is at home.
Sure.
And to say that he plans for a day, the chores, reading, revising, then TV, she stands there to monitor. And then there is also monitoring and evaluation. By the way, I talked to some of my friends in Australia. They have adapted to this. She was trying to tell me that that's how they're doing. The kids that are in almost nursery class, they're around 5 years old, they are on the laptop and the teacher is teaching them through the laptop, through the social media networks. And I was asking her, how are the kids adapting to this? And she was like, they have to because that's the only way to go. And they are adapting and they are doing well. Pastor.
Yeah. Me, I was a little bit opposed to, though I couldn't do much, the business of taking our children
away from us
most of the days, and we give them to
the teachers,
to Margaret. Because when I count the days, I think in a year you may find that we have our children around 19 days. That's about 3 months.
3 months only.
And if they become candidates, man, sometimes they just in Uganda they say smell home, then go back to school. So we find that we are having a culture that is groomed by the schools mostly, not by homes. And so even when they come out of their schools, they are more connected to their friends more than the family and the parents. And so if there is any other, but of course there are challenges that are coming up every now and then, because every time people are going out. In fact, one of the challenges that people received when there was a lockdown was, closing of the schools first. People were worried, what are we going to do, because the children are now at home and we go to work. Because I think to many countries right now, the children have become a little bit of a burden, so to say. So I think, because when the first time when we took our child to the boarding school, I spent about 2 weeks not sleeping. I wasn't sure, because we handed this child to a matron and teachers. And I think that is a mistake, because even right now when we share with her, she says, I will never take my child to a boarding school. Yeah, every time.
It was so hard for her.
I don't know. Because the problem was the place where we are. By that time, we didn't have a very good primary school. And because for us, we never went to good primary school. And so we thought maybe she needs a good foundation in education, but at a cost of missing the family. That's why even when we were in this lockdown, whatever we call it here in Uganda, man, the girl is very excited. She's having the best moments of her life.
She's compensating what she missed.
And so I'm for, if there is any way we can have more days
With the children.
we study with the children. We fold them up as they grow in academics, in their spiritual lives. They know how we spend money. They know how we get money. We engage them in our businesses. They know their uncles. They know their aunts. They know their neighbors. They know how to greet. They know how to, like Mrs. Mwariwa has been saying, she has been teaching them how to cook and to go by the chores of the house. And so, instead of coming up at the age of 25, the boy doesn't know how to cook, the girl doesn't know how to cook, because we are going in a world where now the boys are going to be cooking at home and washing dishes.
Yes.
And so, if we have this holistic growth of a person, I think it is very, very important. Instead of being having a very big head. I mean, academically,
Smart in the head.
very smart in the head, but very weak in the hands.
The hands.
So I think if we are to balance up that, we grow together with our children, because our children are born. Because by the time we had our girl, I was around 30 years. Now I'm 48 years, and we are growing together with her. So, but when I miss her and I don't see how she's developing, because recently we had she asked for a phone, and her mother bought her iPhone. But yesterday night, I called Anwar to sit in a meeting, because every time she's on WhatsApp and she's connecting to friends, and we agreed that the phone is going to be kept by the mother, and it's going to be given at intervals which are necessary, because I told her this is now an addiction. You are so much on the phone. We are watching the television. The president was addressing us. She's chichi every time, chichi. I said, oh, this one is taking us in a different direction. So though there is education on the television and the WhatsApp, it has to be very much monitored, but out of love, because she understood exactly, and I told her this is where we are going right now. So but when we grow together, because if she was at university, if she was in a boarding school where they don't, maybe where they allow phones, these are people that come even to visit, and you are calling. I see friends of mine at times, even the young people, they come here at church. He comes speaking on phone and gives you a hand. Those days we are shaking hands. Praise the Lord, Pastor. But until it goes back when they are communicating, it's like they're taken up by the other people, different directions. So the challenge I'm seeing is that we should see how our children grow,
In all areas.
how they sleep, how they communicate, how they relate to people, how they pray.
How they use their phones.
Sure.
Wow. Wonderful.